Welcome to a very different setting for a September update. This is everything that I bought in the month of September and added to the collection. This one is a bit different. It'll be back to normal next week. Also, there's an echo in here because there's nothing in here. So sorry for that, but I will try to not talk so loud because the mic is right here. I don't need to do that anyway. But anyway, I am moving from one room to the other, so this room's pretty much empty. Because of that, I haven't been unboxing everything as soon as I get it, so I've been waiting until I'm going to make a video where I have a spot for it, and since I don't have a spot for anything right at this moment, I haven't unboxed anything. Now, I did unbox like the freeing figures up there and the Funko Pops and a few other things, so I'll show them to you and give my thoughts on them if they've changed anything from whenever I made the video. But the other ones that I haven't unboxed, you'll just have to wait for the unboxing video, which will be coming out next month sometime. So subscribe if you want to see those. We'll talk about everything else though. So let's get right on into it. So to start, we did get these two Chizuru figures here from Rent a Girlfriend. These complete the Chizuru set for me. These were the last two that I needed to complete the entire line of Chizuru figures from Rent a Girlfriend. I'm very happy with them. I have no issues with them. I talked about them in the I have bought every Chizuru video. If you want to go watch that, you can. It's coming out it came out like a week ago, so go check that out if you're interested. Both of these are pretty good. No real issues. I really probably am partial to this one. I mentioned in that video this one has an alternate that I actually had already where it's got a white top and a blue bottom. I like that better. I don't really like the pink and black, even though this is technically what it's supposed to be because the original image was pink and black. This one, though, just doesn't look that good. You know, I mean, it looks nice as like a, mold or whatever for a prize figure. I mean, its chest is very well done and everything, but I mean, it just for like the look of it, it just doesn't look that nice. Now, this one, on the other hand, I think it looks pretty dang nice. So, I think both are good. This is like considering price and everything, this one's like a 7.5 out of 10. This one I'd probably give a 7 out of 10. The blue and white one, probably 7.5. They're prize figures. I can't expect that much. I'm going to move the camera a little closer so you can actually see these things, because there's that one. There's that one. That might make it easier on you. I'm working with what I got this month. Now this one here, this is probably the only time you'll ever get my opinion on this figure, unfortunately, because I am going to just make a short out of this because it's just a pop-up parade figure, and that's really all. It's not enough to make a full-length video on or whatever, but this is Hana from Wataten. This was my first anime that I ever watched, was Wataten, and so I am very happy to have the last pop-up parade for this set. Now, if you watch the Is This Anime Figure Inappropriate video, I mentioned the Noah from this line had a problem with her skirt was really wavy, and you could see her underwear very easily. I don't know if this is the same one. Her dress is very flowy, and I can already tell you that it does have some of that problem. Not as bad as her, but similar. But they're very cute, and I like them a lot, so maybe don't put them on a high shelf, but it's a solid figure. You'll see this on a short probably the next week or two. I've been very limiting on what shorts I put out. Like if I put a short out every day, it feels overwhelming. Like it feels like you're getting your feed filled with videos you probably don't care about, shorts in particular. I don't really want to do that, and it takes more effort to put in shorts than it does to just make videos. So I'd much rather just make videos for you than just make a bunch of shorts. Would making shorts every day probably get me more subscribers? Probably. But I'm not going for subscribers. I want my content to be something that you actually want to watch, not necessarily just get a bunch of subscribers and it's hollow. So anyway, that's just my opinion. Rant, tangent over. This is a good figure. If you want to see the unboxing, check out the short whenever it comes out, a week or two. The same thing goes for these two. Now this is from 2.5 Dimensional Seduction. I've talked about this anime just a little bit because I actually was talking about censorship with it. I've kind of walked back on that because I don't think it's done that bad. Now I'm behind on this anime, haven't watched very much of it, so I don't really have a big opinion on these. Whenever I started watching it, I just pre-ordered these and now they're here. So it's not a bad anime. It's decent. But yeah, so these will be in a short as well. So stay tuned for that. They are very big for prize figures. These are very big. So that's one big plus on these. So yeah, pretty neat. I do have the Nindroid of her pre-ordered as well. So that won't be out until probably next year sometime, but it's coming. It's coming. Now, a few little things that I got this month was one, these trains from Sound Euphonium there. As you can see there, they are based off a real life train, and I am very excited to finally be able to make this video. I've been holding off because I'm waiting until I get into the big room, but these are a really cool thing. I think they're very detailed. I think they're really well done. I also have the Yohane ones from Love Live. So you'll see a video on these very soon, probably in the next 2 weeks, I'd say, but stay tuned for these. I am very excited to show you more of these because I just think they're so unique, and I love a unique anime thing. Also, I got these. Now, originally, I was only going to get the fig pins for Demon Slayer of the Hashira. Wasn't going to get the rest. However, I got Nezuko on sale a few months ago, and then I ended up finding these two on sale for like, I think they were like $8 a piece. They were not that expensive at all. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll go ahead and pick them up. So here you go. I have Enmu there and then Tanjiro. So yeah, I'm not necessarily like really excited about these, but I just, they were there. So there you go. Now another figure that I have to still unbox, and this is one that I'm looking forward to, and she does have a spot now, so she'll be unboxed very soon. You'll probably see this next week, but this is Yu from Love Live. This is a figure, like I mentioned in the Ami Ami video where I talked about this one a little bit. This is a figure that I never thought would be made. I didn't think we'd ever get a scale figure for Yu, and we have. And she actually got a scale figure before a lot of her Nijigasaki counterparts, so very happy about this. I think it looks very nice from these pictures. Obviously, you can see her kind of in there, but she's covered up in plastic. But everything looks pretty good. I am just excited to get her out of the box and see if the face looks good, see if the outfit looks good. I think it will. This is probably, it's not my figure of the month, and I'll talk about what my figure of the month ended up being. But this one is probably up there, and if it's not my favorite, which it's not, it's probably top 2, top 3 at worst. So very, very solid figure there. Now I will real quickly show you all of these. These are the acrylic stands from Gushing Over Magical Girls. I did not show you all of them in the Ami Ami video. I did show you one of them, but these are little acrylic stands. I think they're really cute, but they are just little like chibi ones that they weren't that expensive. I really liked them because you got the whole set. They're all the characters from the series, like all of them. And I'll show you here in a minute what I mean. Specifically, like these two, we aren't getting a lot of stuff from these two yet. We also are not getting really anything from these two. Not Kiwi. We got Kiwi there. But we also have not gotten anything from these two, which is really cool. So there you go. Now this figure is really interesting, and I have not unboxed it yet, so I don't really know what to tell you on this one. So if this ends up being a fantastic figure, it's probably my anime figure of the month. However, I have doubts on it because it's small, and I just don't believe that this can be that good of a figure. So this is Runa from Our Dating Story. Controversial character, kind of. I don't know why, but she's controversial. But anyway, this is a bikini scale figure of her. And it is a 7th scale, I believe. I don't know if it says anywhere on here, but I think it's 7th scale. It might be 8th scale. But anyway, this is the cheapest scale figure I have ever seen. I have never seen one this cheap. It is like $25. And to put in perspective, these are more expensive than this. And I can go ahead and tell you, these are not going to be the same detail as this. I think, unless these images are just completely wrong, which surely not, but I've been surprised or been bamboozled before. So I think that's going to be a really good figure. Am I holding my breath though? Kind of, but I really think it could be good. There'll be a video out on that. Probably not next week, the next week. So I'm trying to space these out. So we got a big backlog. So stay tuned. We also have these two, which are the final two of the wedding dress Nindroids from Quintuplets. Quintuplets. This is Yotsuba and Itsuki. I already have Nino, Miku, and Ishika. So these two are just kind of the last two in that set. I already made the video about Nino, Miku, and Ichika. Then these two got announced, or not got announced, they told me they were shipping just a couple weeks ago, and now they're here. So I have held off on releasing that video because I'm just going to, instead of making 2 videos, I'm just going to take that first half of the video and then record a video for these two and just put that on the end of the video. So you'll get a 2-part video in one. So you'll see video thing on these. If you watched my one video on that, you haven't watched that. If you watched my August collection update, you will know that I had issues with those wedding dress Nindroids. I think they are not cheap feeling, but they are one of the major, they show off one of the major flaws with Nindroids sometimes, and that is very apparent with that. I think this one will be fine because her dress doesn't go all the way to the ground. It's kind of like, it's a short dress. However, this one will have that same problem because I guarantee you she does not have a stick going into her back. It's just where she sits on the thing. And I hate that. I like my figures to be secure. These are not secure. So we'll see, but I'm not holding my breath that these will fix those issues. I think it will be the same issues, and then we'll look at the whole set when we do that video. We also have 2 Bochi Nindroids. We have Saika, Nijika's older sister. This is one that I am happy we got. I don't really think we needed her this quickly. We have really gotten a lot of Bochi figures really quick, which is what I think will end up happening with Kashiro Magical Rules. But we got a lot of them very, very quickly. And this is one that I think is kind of like, yeah, that makes sense to get. But also, like, did we need her immediately? Probably not. But we got her anyway. And there you go. Another one that we got was this one, and this is the Dino Bochi, the attention-seeking monster. This is just a really cute Bochi thing. I think if you were going to make a like a alternate Bochi, this is probably the one to go with. So, you know, I think the only thing you could do now, other than making like PA-san, is making a, and I don't do this because it's a waste of money, but I can see them doing this, is to make a, like, do what they did with K-On! And they made like 2 2-packs, and it was like their performing outfits, and I could see them doing that with their like band t-shirts on. I could see them doing that, and then like make like a backdrop or something. I could see them doing that. Will they do that? Probably not anytime soon. I hope they don't, but I could see them doing that. The final Nindroid of the month that I haven't mentioned is this Hatsune Miku V3. It's the pretty much standard Miku. It's actually the same as that one up there, but in Nindroid form. It looks very nice. I haven't unboxed it yet. I think there's a chance I don't make a video on this one simply because I just have so much on the backlog that I need to put up. and this one just, I don't think it will get the views that like this would, or the Chizuru ones did, or even the Bochi video would. So maybe I'm wrong on that, but the Miku ones just, the Tan Miku videos do good, but anything besides that really just doesn't do as good. So I might just open this and then just talk about it, you know, maybe in a Miku video or something. But anyway, really cool to have this. This is not something that I don't really buy anything for the sake of making a video. This is just something that and this is a prime example of that. I knew this would not be a good thing to make a video on, but it is a really cool just figure in general. So there you go. While we're on the conversation of Miku, I'll go ahead and talk about this freeing figure. There is a video coming out on this probably first of next week, but this is the new freeing Miku figure. This figure I have mixed thoughts on because for one, I think the base is quite boring, but I do think the detail on the figure itself, there is words printed like on her arm, on her skirt and everything, and they're really well done. They're very clear, they're very well applied, they're very nice. However, I think the face looks very boring. Whenever like you see a figure, especially like this, you want it to have a very expression, like a very not good expression on it. And this one I just don't think does. I think it has a very boring expression, very bland. So unfortunately, I think that hinders it. And what makes me dislike that is that this is Hatsune Miku. Hatsune Miku should have very colorful expressions. Like even her Nendroid here, you can see she has like, if I can get my arm through there, she has these different facial features that they show off here. So I just don't like this very plain face. If I'm wrong for saying that drags the figure down, in my opinion, if that's maybe me being, you know, just exaggerating or whatever, I don't know. But I just don't like it. I think it's kind of boring. So anyway, that's just me. The rest of the figure's pretty good. I think the hair is nice. Honestly, I just wanted a regular Miku figure, and that's what I got, but it's also very basic. So I got my wish, but I think they could have done more. And that's it. You know, just if the face was better, this would be my anime figure of the month. No doubt about it. But unfortunately, it's not. Here's another fun freeing figure that we're going to talk about. This is Lum. There is a video that just came out on Monday talking about this figure. This is an interesting figure because I have a few conflicting opinions on it. On one hand, I really like that I finally have a freeing figure that is basically her in-universe outfit. This is what she wears in universe. It's not promotional art. It's not one image they did. This is what she wears, which technically the Miku is too, but this one I consider more. But I don't really like this pose, and I will tell you why. Because I put this on this table, this black table here, which this is not like I can drag like this figure across it. It's not, sorry, that was very loud, but it's not like it's like this paint's coming off. It's not like it's sticky or anything like that. It's a very smooth table. And if you notice here, I don't know if it'll come across on screen, but her, where her like stomach here, right around her belly button there, it is now scratched black. This is a $200 to $250 figure, depending on if you're able to get it on sale or anything. And they can't give you a base. I just want a base with these figures. That's all I ask. Even if it's like some of them will just, like the Chizuru that was the cat version that's laying down. I never put it on that base, but it comes with a like a fluffy base that it can sit on. And honestly, I wish this had something like that because now it's going to be all scratched up on her stomach, which yeah, it's never going to be displayed, without her, laying on her stomach. But still, I just don't want my $200 to $250 figure to have black marks on her stomach. Not only that, but, and I showed this off in the video, and it's hard to show on camera, so unfortunately I can't really show you here. Go watch the video if you want to see it. There is a seam on this arm between her, like right here. I don't like that. I do not like seams in an anime figure. I don't like seams in figures in general. Whenever there's no, like, if you are making, like, say, a bikini outfit like this, you can put a seam where the bikini is, or at the strap, or whatever. If it's this type of figure, where you know there's going to be a lot of skin showing, don't put a seam. Even if it's hidden behind her hair, I don't care. It's a $200, $250 figure. Don't put a seam. I just don't like that. Is this a good figure otherwise? Yeah, it's pretty good. However, there's shortcomings to it that I think they should. Fring is not a new company. Fring has not put out 5 figures. They should know to do this. And unfortunately, they don't. And unfortunately, we're getting more and more figures like this. So, I don't know. This is disappointing to me. But that's just my opinion. Speaking of disappointing, the Demon Slayer Funko Pop line. This is the second Entertainment District set that we have gotten. This was the one that I was very much looking forward to. We were getting this really cool Tanjiro with the blood eyes and everything, the sun breathing thing. This was supposed to be the coolest pop that I had ever seen, and it can't even stand up. Not even a little bit. So that was a massive, massive disappointment. This Tengen, which I've said all this before in that video, but I have more thoughts here in just a second. This Tengen here did not need to be made. It's a young Tengen. Why we needed this, I don't know. There is other things you could have done. There was rumors that we were getting like this really cool deluxe with an older Tengen, like in the OP, to where he's like sitting on the chair and all of his wives are around him. That could have been a really cool pop. They canceled it, and then we got this thing instead. I mean, I think this was going to be made, whether that one got canceled or not. But this should have been canceled. That should have came out. So there you go. So that's a disappointment. Then another disappointment, which maybe is not as extreme. Yuruto here doesn't have prints on the eyes. He doesn't have a mouth either, which, if you could say his mouth is closed here, I'm fine with that. It still looks pretty good. I'm not going to complain too much on this one because it's actually pretty good. There is a different version of this pop coming out with like blood swirling around him. And unless it's like Tanjiro, where they don't know how to put a base on him, it should be the better pop. So if you haven't picked this up yet, maybe wait for that one. We're going to talk about it with these two as well. But I think you should probably just wait for that other one. Speaking of waiting for another one, this one is the Nezuko pop that we have been looking forward to for a very, very long time. This is the Advanced Demon form. And this one is a bit of an interesting case because I went and watched videos, because I try not to watch any videos on figures that I already, or that I haven't unboxed or haven't made a video on yet, because I don't want to influence my opinion. So I didn't watch any videos on this set until I had made mine. And what I found is that most people didn't have problems with their Tengen, or at least they didn't mention it. But they did say they had problems with this one. And I actually left these figures sitting on this table since that review. And because this was the last video that I have made or recorded since between then and now. And it's only been about 2 or 3 days, but this figure between then and now was like that. And it had fallen over. So, unfortunately, I think that's going to be an issue with this figure. They put her peg on her back foot instead of her front foot, and I definitely think they should have put it on that front foot there, maybe even 2. But unfortunately, that seems to be a problem, and hopefully that is not a widespread problem, because I know so many people were looking forward to this pop, and it just didn't stack up at all. unfortunately. However, that's not the case with this one. This one has seemingly kind of, it's won my heart over. I think it's pretty good. It's the kicking version, and it's actually what they're calling the Funko Pop Plus now. It's kind of a more expensive but better version of Pops. Is that something that we should be encouraging them to do? Probably not. But, you know, if they're going to make quality stuff, I'm fine with it. And they did here. This is a good figure, and I'm pleasantly surprised with it. So, yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. So I mentioned in that video that this one was my favorite out of the single pops. I've changed my opinion. I think this one's better. I think it's just by default, this is the best pop. This is not missing anything. This is what we should get. Does this mean, because of the introduction of like Funko Pop Plus, that they're gonna start skimping out on their basic figures so they can encourage people to go out and buy the Plus figures that are more expensive? Probably, because that's Funko and because they are not that great of a company. But maybe not. Maybe not. So anyway, there you go. Now, we're going to talk about this, and this is probably the most controversial thing that I will ever say in any of these update videos, because this figure right here, Lum here, solid figure. It's a $200 figure. Miku here, not bad, not bad. $250 figure. You down there, good figure, like $100. This one, $20. This may be the figure of the month, actually. But bunch of Nindroids, they're cool. Chizuru, very nice. However, I have never before said that a Funko Pop blew me away until I got this one. I don't like moments. I don't like moments. Moments for Funko Pop, if you have never bought a Funko Pop before, and I don't blame you, because if all I showed you was these 5, you would be like, those things are awful, they're trash, get rid of them. I agree with you for the most part. I would not, this is not something that I recommend buying. But I don't like moments. Moments take up a lot of room on the shelf. Moments are usually a waste of space, and they could have been a single pop. However, this figure and this moment right here is so good. This is what Funko Pop should be. It is an action pose. Both figures have detail. You can see the mouth on him there. I love that. The action, like the smoke down here, there's flames, there's the blood going here, the kind of, I don't know if that's supposed to be like wind or whatever there, but it just looks so good. I don't know why they went all out with this one, and it looks really good. I'm not a person that is like a Funko apologist, because I'm not one of these people that's going to tell you, yeah, Funko, they're doing all great. They're all great, you know. Yeah, I buy Funko, but I am very happy to tell you that Funko is kind of trash most of the time. However, when they try, when they really try, they can make some good quality things. And this reminds me that they can. Unfortunately, it seems like with the introduction of the Plus thing and these weak commons, that they're not going to be doing that very often. But sometimes they make some really good stuff. And I am happy to own this little guy. I think this is about $30. Is that too much? Probably. I don't really mind that. I think it's good price. If you want, wait. It'll probably be on sale for $20 at some point, and if you can get it for $20, that is a steal. You will be very, very pleased. Will this be my anime figure of the year? Absolutely not. There's figures that I know are better than this. However, in a month to where I got 2 freaking figures that I wasn't exactly pleased on, and then I haven't unboxed this or you could either one of those 2 could easily pass this. But considering what I have unboxed so far, considering maybe these are just so bad that this is great by comparison, but I really like this. And it's my anime figure of the month. Apologies if that's controversial, and if you disagree with me, that's fine. I absolutely understand. However, I think this is the best. And whenever I say anime figure of the month, obviously Hatsune Miku and obviously Lum are better. This is better for your price. This is better for what you're getting. If I wanted to spend money, like percentage wise or ratio between how much money I spent, how good of a figure or how good of a product I'm getting, this is what I would say is the best. So there you go. Now, I am not quite done yet. I'm going to show you what manga I picked up and then one extra thing at the very end, so stay tuned for that if you want. But real quick, we're going to go over my manga and light novel pickups for the month. Now, the first of them is City. City Volume 1, actually. Now, City is getting a anime adaptation by Kyoto Animations. I don't know why that was a struggle for me to say, but anyway. That is getting an anime adaptation next year. I'm very, very excited about that. I've heard great things about this. I don't know why it took me this long to pick it up, but I finally decided to pick it up now that we got an anime adaptation coming. I might skim through it a little bit. Well, I'll probably read this one and then may hold off on it a little bit, depending on how it is. I've heard it's like the other one. Shoot, what's the other one called? From the same creator. But I've heard it's similar to that. So if it's like that, I may continue to read it because I don't think there'll be spoilers or anything. I think it's going to be a fun series, and I'm very excited for that. The next one here is the Handsome Girl and the Sheltered Girl. This is a Yuri series here. I think it's just one volume. I don't know for sure. I think so. But it's a very thick volume here. I just picked this up yesterday, so I don't really have an opinion on it, but it looks cool. I had actually heard nothing about this series. So I don't know if it's brand new. I don't know if it's been out for years, and maybe my bookstore just finally got one, but there you go. Pretty cool. Whenever I saw it, I was like, oh, that looks interesting. And then I read the back of it, and it caught my attention. So I was like, I'll pick that up. Maybe read that. Now, the same thing goes for this one. This one is I cross-dressed for the IRL meetup. There is a thing on the back here that you could read if you... Here, I'll just do it for you there. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. But if not, go look up this on your own. It's basically a cross-dressing book and manga here. It is volumes 1 and 2 of the Japanese edition, put into one, so you actually get multiple volumes in one, and it's only $16.99, so there you go. You get a good deal on it. But I am excited for this. I do have a few other cross-dressing books that I have read before, and they actually, for whatever reason, like the few cross-dressing books that I have, always are like really good. So there you go. The next one here is Shadow's House Volume 7. I don't know how many volumes of this are going to be. I know that we're behind from where the Japanese edition is, obviously, but I'm very excited to get more of this because I really, really like this series. It's very surprising on how good it is. The TV animation, or the TV anime, made some changes for season 1 in particular, and so, it's kind of like, it's debatable if you want to, I almost would recommend reading it more than I would watching it. Even though the anime is really, really good, I do think the book is very good as well. So maybe check out the anime, see if you're interested, and then if you are, I highly recommend the manga. You won't be disappointed. Here's a fun one. It is Suzume Volume 1. I love Suzume. If I wasn't moving, I would show you that the chair used to sit right there. It's already in the other room, but I love Suzume. It's a really good movie in my opinion, even though I know most people are like, oh, Weathering with You is better. Oh, Your Name's better. I really like Suzume. I don't know where I'd put it ranked among the 3, but I think it's really, really good. And we finally are getting the adaptation of it. So there you go. I already have the adaptation for Weathering with You and Your Name, so I decided to pick this up as well. So there you go. The next thing here is You Like Me, Not My Daughter, Volume 4. For the longest time, we didn't get another volume of this. And I was like, what happened? Is my bookstore just not getting them, or is it done at 3? Because I was like, doesn't seem like volume 3 was the end. And I don't know why I just didn't look it up to find out there was more, but there was more, and it was just taking a really long time to get put out. But finally, it's here, and yeah, it's a fun series. If you are interested in that, I don't know if I'd say rush out to get it, but it's a fun one if you see it and you're like, hey, I might be interested in that. You probably are, and you probably will have a good time with it. The next one here, I want to end this love game. This is volumes 1 and 2. I picked it up because I saw it and I thought that looked really interesting. Without spoiling it, because this is pretty much, yeah, it's on the back. They are pretty much teasing each other with saying "I love you," and then they, as all series like this do, because they're childhood friends, they end up falling in love with one another. But now they're like, it's basically Love is War, but not Love is War, and kind of different. Like a little, pretty much, really different. But anyway, if you like that kind of concept, you'll probably like this series. It's pretty good. I've only read volume 1, but I've got volume 2, and I've just not got around to reading it, but I think you'll enjoy it. Let's do it already. Volume 2. This is one that is from Shoujo Beat. I've not read volume 1 of this. It's been on my back burner. It's not one that I decided to pick up and read immediately, but I have heard pretty good things, and now I have volume 2, so maybe now that I have 2 of them, maybe I'll get around to reading both of them before long. Now, this one is another one that looked really interesting to me. This is This Monster Wants to Eat Me. It is, I think, Yuri. I just picked this up the other day, but I think it's Yuri, and it's like she is a mermaid, and then she basically is trying to. This is what I read on the back of it. Yeah, the mermaid saves her, and then she's going to protect her, but the mermaid they think is going to eat her. I don't think that'll happen, but maybe. I don't know. It seemed interesting, so I'll check it out. The next one here, The Wandering Witch. I believe this is a manga, volume 5. This series releases really, really slow in manga form. It's almost as bad as Rasco's Not Your Manga Girl Senpai. But we finally got volume 5 of this, so yeah. I really like that series, so there you go. Now, this next one here, I don't really know how to pronounce this series. Yokohama Kaidashi Kiko. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but this is volume 5. This is a very thick volume here. I haven't read volume 5, but I can say this is a very underrated series. I have had a very good time reading this. I think it's very much worth the read. I think do what I did. I saw volume 1 and I thought that looks interesting. I read it. I am very, very happy with it. So check it out if you're interested. I think you'll enjoy it. Now, fun thing with these last 3 that really does not matter, but I went to Canada last month, and while I was there, I decided to pick up a few manga because I wanted to check out Indigo Bookstore. And let me just say, Indigo Bookstore, I've heard things about it, and I thought, oh, it's an Indigo Bookstore. I want to check that out. Wasn't all it cracked up to be, unless I just went to a really bad one. So, sorry to you folks in Thunder Bay, Canada. Your Indigo Bookstore kind of sucked. Sorry. But anyway, I did find some interesting stuff there, particularly Attack on Titan Before the Fall, Volume 16. Hard series to find, and I found a volume of it that I didn't have, so there you go. I also found My Girlfriend's Not Here Today, Volume 1. It's a Yuri thing, and I always like a good spicy Yuri. Maybe that's bad on me, but you know. And then another one, My First Love's Kiss, another Yuri there. So I picked up 2 Yuris and Attack on Titan while I was in Canada. What does that say about Canada? These were the only 3 things that were interesting there because I was all intending on buying the entire store out, but there wasn't nothing there. So, there wasn't even, like I was looking for like, oh, I wonder what their like Rent-A-Girlfriend section looks like. There was like volume like 6 and 20, and that was it. There was like 2 volumes there, so disappointing. The final thing here that I want to talk about that I just found interesting is I bought this Godzilla Funko Pop there. This is a series that I have gotten into. I watched -1. I really, really, really liked -1. And so now I am on the quest of I'm going to watch every Godzilla movie and review it for you and give my initial thoughts on it right after I watch it. So that video will be up as soon as I watch them all. So I don't know how long that'll take. Maybe it'll be, you know, 2 or 3 weeks from now. Maybe it'll be a month from now. But anyway, that's something that is in the pipeline because I like this little lizard guy. He's pretty cool. Now, obviously, there are some things that I didn't show you here, like the Blu-ray that I got in the Ami Ami video. There's also the wall scroll that I can't show you because it, you know, Kiwi's got her Kiwis out in that. But anyway, other than that, there's just a few odds and ends that I just didn't show you here because I've already showed you pretty much all there is to show you with those in the Ami Ami video. There's also an Ami Ami box that I just got yesterday, which I'm not unboxing until I get another box in, but that one will be in a video very soon, but it's a very good box, so stay tuned for that. But that's all for the September update. I hope you did enjoy. I hope you maybe see a figure you're interested in. Apologies, they're not all unboxed this month. Like I said, with me moving rooms, I don't really have a spot to put them yet, and it'd just be an inconvenience to unbox them and then have the box and the figure that I have to move. So apologies for that. Next month, they'll all be unboxed and they'll all be ready to go. And that's to say, also, I'm going to have a medical thing done at the end of October. So there is a small possibility. I think I'll be back up and going by the 1st of November to be able to make the November or the October update. But if I can't, that will come out as soon as I'm able to. So it's with my mouth. If you've noticed, my tooth is broken. So I've got to fix that, but I'm also having other things done. So I don't know how quick I'll be able to talk again, but as soon as I'm able to, I'll make that video. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's a longer video, but I really like making these videos because I think they're really cool to show you everything in one big video. But anyway, thank you so much. What did you pick up this month? Let me know down below. And anyway, I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.